Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. It's been a long time since I have posted video in this channel. So today I thought of posting some very interesting topic. So in today's video, we're going to see about how India has entered the war, which means, which doesn't mean India has actually entered the war, but let me try to explain you in detail. So, I wanted to talk about India's position on the Russia related conflicts happening right now and how other countries are involved too. There has been a lot of information out there. So, I'm here to break it down in a way that is easier to follow. So, let's start with India's position. India has historically followed a path of non alignment and strategic autonomy. This means India tries to stay neutral in global conflicts, not choosing sides and focusing on maintaining strong ties with various countries. India's goal is to push for peace and dialogue over direct involvement in wars and conflicts. Even though it has strong historical ties with Russia, especially when it comes to defense and trade, it also maintains growing partnerships with the US, Europe, and other Asian countries. India has made it clear that it wants a peaceful resolution to the conflicts. It's been calling for respect for every country's sovereignty and for the need to resolve disputes through diplomacy. Recently, we have seen India advocate for negotiation and dialogue rather than supporting any specific side or taking military action. Now, let's look at the bigger picture and some other countries that are involved. First, United States and the NATO. The United States and the NATO countries have strongly opposed Russia's actions. They have provided military, financial, and humanitarian support to the countries affected by the conflict. The US has been leading sanctions on Russia, which has had a big impact on the Russian economy and has influenced global trade and fuel prices. Coming to the Europe, especially like the countries in the European Union, has been deeply involved because of their geographical and economic proximity to Russia. Many European nations are NATO members and have backed Ukraine and other affected regions. At the same time, they are dealing with their own energy crisis since they relied on Russian oil and gas. Countries like Germany and France have been pushing for alternatives to Russian energy resources, making Europe more energy independent but facing economic challenges in the process. Let's talk about the China's role. China has a different approach. It has kept a more neutral stance but has maintained its relationship with Russia. China has a strategic partnership with Russia, and both countries share some common interests, particularly regarding counterbalancing US influence. China has been carefully not to directly support any actions that would openly define global sanctions on Russia, as it wants to maintain its trade ties with both the West and the Russia. Talking about the Middle East and the OPEC, in the Middle East, we see countries like Saudi Arabia and the OPEC members playing an important role, especially in terms of energy. The Middle East supplies a lot of world's oil, and with the global energy market being so affected by the Russian situation. Um, while many Western countries have asked OPEC to increase oil production to bring prices down, OPEC has been cautious, balancing its own interest with the global economic needs. Uh, to the Japan and South Korea, like in Asia, Japan and South Korea have allied more closely with the US and NATO stance, supporting sanctions and diplomatic efforts to address the situations. Both countries have also increased the defense spending and cooperation with the US, seeing this as a moment to strengthen their own security and prepare for potential regional conflicts. Now, let's come to India's challenges and opportunities. For India, this complex situation comes with both challenges and opportunities. On one hand, India is balancing its energy needs and defense agreements with Russia. It buys a significant amount of military equipment from Russia, which means maintaining a functional relationship is the key. On the other hand, India's trade and defense ties with Western countries like US and European Union are growing rapidly. This conflict has pushed India to expand its domestic defense industry to reduce reliance on any single country for military equipment. There is a chance here for India to work on becoming more self-reliant while still collaborating with both Russia and Western nations for its defense needs. Now let's see about India's diplomatic moves. India has been active in organizations like the UN, G20, BRICS, calling for peaceful negotiations and pushing for a multipolar world where no single country dominates. It has also increased its role in organizations like Quad alongside the US, Japan, and Australia, which focus on maintaining stability in the Indo-Pacific region. But India is clear in wanting to keep its independence, making it clear that the Quad is not against any one country. India's stance shows its commitment to balancing multiple relationships with promoting peace and diplomacy. This approach has been praised by some for its neutrality and flexibility, while the others see it as India walking a fine line in a rapidly changing world. So, to sum up, India's position in the current conflict reflects its long-standing principle of neutrality and its focus on strategic autonomy. By calling for peace and engaging in diplomacy, India hopes to bring about a more balanced global order without aligning strictly with any one bloc. And as global dynamics shift, India's balanced approach allows to protect its interest and pursue positive relationships with both Russia and the West. India's choice to focus on the dialogue and negotiation is significant, and it shows how much the world is changing, with countries like India playing a key role in shaping a future that is not dominated by any single power. So that's all for today. And uh, if you want to provide some comments regarding the topic, or if you want to provide some comments regarding the topic that I wanted to speak in the next video, please drop a comment in the below comment section. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.